Welcome back to The Explainer. So, today we're doing a deep dive into some psychology that honestly might hit pretty close to home for a lot of us. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you just feel totally out of sync with everyone else? Like you're literally operating on a completely different frequency, and because of that, you end up feeling totally misunderstood? Well, the good news is you might not be doing anything wrong at all. Actually, you might just be running on completely different psychological hardware. Let's look at 6 signs of a rare mind. Which brings us to a pretty heavy question. Are you different from normal people? Like, really think about it for a second. Do you ever feel fundamentally different from the crowd? And I don't just mean your hobbies or the clothes you wear, but the actual way your brain processes reality. If you're nodding your head right now, I've got something really exciting to share with you. You might actually possess a mind that most people simply don't understand. And you know what the craziest part is? Most people who have this kind of mind don't even realize it. Mostly because they just assume everyone else thinks this deeply too. So what exactly do we mean by all this? Well, a rare mind is basically a psychological profile characterized by processing the world on a deeper, highly selective, and intensely analytical level. Basically, your brain just isn't taking things at face value. Today, we're going to explore 6 specific signs that indicate you've got this rare mind. And hey, do me a favor and keep a mental tally as we go through the explainer today, all right? Because at the end, we're going to score exactly where you land.
All right, Section 1, the internal world. Let's take a look at your internal processing.
That brings us to sign number 1. Alone is greater than a crowd. Now, if you have a rare mind, it doesn't mean you're necessarily antisocial, right? But noisy rooms and shallow small talk, yeah, that drains your battery incredibly fast. But the second you're alone, maybe on that quiet car ride home, your brain acts like a sudden activator. Solitude is literally where your absolute best ideas come to life. It's like your brain suddenly flips a switch and you just feel energized, creative, and completely in your element. The real reason those crowds exhaust you basically boils down to cognitive load. It's surface-level thinking versus deep-level thinking. See, while most people can comfortably exist right on the surface, making small talk, taking simple answers at face value, and just moving on, your rare mind is constantly working. You're analyzing motives, you're reading between the lines. Trying to do that in a room full of 50 people, that is pure psychological overload. Your brain is practically doing 10 times the work of a surface-level thinker. No wonder you're tired. Okay, moving on to sign number 2. You don't stop at what? A typical mind accepts an answer and just, calls it a day. But you immediately ask why and how. Let's be real, you're probably the person falling down an absolute rabbit hole at 2 a.m. researching exactly how mechanical watch gears work just because a random thought popped into your head. You relentlessly question the mechanics and the underlying reasons behind, well, the whole shebang. And sure, it might keep you up at night, but this intense, relentless curiosity is exactly what completely separates you from the pack. Let's jump to Section 2, external misconceptions. This is where we see that friction with society. Sign number 3 is all about the myth versus the reality of laziness. Now, society might be quick to label you a procrastinator, or maybe people say you lack initiative just because you don't jump into every single task immediately. But the reality? The reality is that you're just incredibly selective. Because you're wired to think so deeply, you're constantly evaluating the exact return on your energy investment before you make a move. You don't just do things blindly. You ruthlessly conserve your energy for the stuff that actually matters. And that leads perfectly into sign number 4, advanced people reading. You quickly separate the fake from the genuine. Because of your deep processing, you're basically a master at subconscious pattern recognition. You have this innate ability to just feel who is authentic and who is, well, totally fake. You pick up on these tiny micro-expressions and subtle shifts in tone that literally everyone else misses, which, let's be honest, is exactly why your inner circle is so small and carefully chosen. Some folks might think you're aloof or even a bit snobby, but actually, your internal radar just went off and you're simply protecting your peace from people who aren't genuine. Sign number 5, following curiosity over following trends. A rare mind operates almost entirely on intrinsic motivation. You really don't care about what's trending or what's mainstream right now, and you definitely don't blindly follow the crowd just to fit in. Your interests might seem weirdly niche to the outside world, but you aren't doing it to be edgy or different. You're just authentically pursuing what genuinely stimulates your brain. All right, moving into Section 3, the ultimate sign, emotional control. So here we are at sign number 6, emotional control. And I'm telling you, this is your most powerful asset. It works in 3 steps. Step 1, you observe the situation without panicking.
Step 2, you process it all internally without letting the amygdala, the emotion center of your brain, completely hijack your logic. And step 3, you respond appropriately. Notice I said respond, not react. Average minds tend to react instantly with emotion, anger, or panic. But your cognitive discipline, it completely prevents those unnecessary emotional outbursts and makes you incredibly mentally resilient. It's a real game changer. Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, your rare mind score. So, where do you stand? Let's do a really quick review of these signs. 1. Preferring solitude over crowds. 2. Engaging in that deep questioning, always asking the why and the how. 3. Being selective with your energy, not just lazy. 4. Having that advanced people-reading radar. 5. Being driven by your own curiosity rather than what's trending. And 6. Possessing high emotional control, where you observe before you respond. I want you to take a second right now. Think about these 6 points and honestly count up how many of these traits you genuinely recognize in yourself. Got your number? Okay, so here is the critical threshold. Now, you might think you need a perfect 6 out of 6, right? But psychology actually shows that possessing even just 3 or 4 of these signs strongly indicates that your mind operates on a remarkably rare level. If you hit that 3 to 4 mark, you have a distinct psychological advantage. You are, quite literally, not processing the world the way the average person does. So I'm going to leave you with this one provocative thought today. If your mind really is this rare, what kind of incredible things could you build if you finally stop spending all your energy just trying to fit in with the normal crowd? Seriously, think about it. Drop your score in the comments below so we can see where everyone landed. Embrace that rare mind of yours, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.